You are live, I am live, and today is my first Torah reading. I started reading Torah. The story behind it, I will make a separate video about it. But today I would like to read the Torah for the week, which is called Terumah. Terumah. It starts with chapter 25. God spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Israelites and have the treasurer take a contribution for me. Tell the treasurer, you must take the contribution for me from every man whose heart prompts him to give. The following materials constitute the contribution that you must take from them: gold, silver, copper, wool dyed turquoise, wool dyed purple, wool dyed scarlet, linen goat hair, red-eyed ram skins, skins of the tashah, acacia wood, olive oil for the luminary, spices for the anointing oil and for the incense offering, and onyx stones and inset stones for the ephod and the breastplate. They must make me a sanctuary, that I might dwell in the midst. They must take this dwelling according to all that I am showing you, the form of the tabernacle and the form of all its furnishings. And so must you make a replacement for those furnishings, if necessary. They must make an ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, and 1.5 cubits wide, and 1.5 cubits high. You must overlay it with pure gold. You must overlay it inside and out. You must make a gold rim upon it all around. You must cast 4 gold rings for it, and place them on its 4 corners, 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the opposite side. You must make poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. You must insert the poles through the rings on the sides of the ark, so that the ark can be carried with them. The poles must remain in the rings of the ark. They may not be removed from it. You must place in the ark the tables of the testimony that I will give you. You must make a cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. You must make 2 golden cherubim. You must make them by hammering them out of the 2 ends of the cover. Make 1 cherub out of one end and 1 cherub out of the other end. You must make the cherubim from the cover itself, at its 2 ends. The cherubim must have their wings spread aloft, so that their wings shield the cover. They must face one another, the faces of the cherubim being inclined toward the cover. You must place the cover on the top of the ark, having placed in the ark the tables of testimony that I will give you. I will convene with you there. I will speak to you from above the cover, from between the 2 cherubim that are on the ark of testimony. I will convey to you everything that I will command you concerning the Israelites. You must make a table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long, 1 cubit wide, and 1.5 cubits high. You must overlay it with pure gold, and you must make a gold rim for it all around. You must make a frame for it all around, 1 handbreadth high. You must make a gold rim for its frame all around. You must make 4 gold rings for it, and you must place the rings on the four corners of its four legs. The rings must be close to the frame to serve as holders for the poles with which to carry the table. You must make the poles out of acacia wood and overlay them with gold, and the table will be carried with them. You must make its bread forms, its spoons, its shelving tubes with which the bread will be covered, and its supporting frames. You must make all those of pure gold. You must place showbread on the table before me at all times. You must make a candelabrum of pure gold. The candelabrum must be formed as if by hammering. Its base, its central stem, its goblets, its spheres, and its flowers must all be an integral part of it. 6 branches must extend diagonally from out of its two sides, 3 branches of the candelabrum from one side of it, and the 3 branches of the candelabrum from its other side. There must be 3 engraved goblets, as well as a sphere and a flower, on one branch, and 3 engraved goblets, as well as a sphere and a flower on the next branch. The same will apply to all 6 branches extending from the stem to the candelabrum. On the stem of the candelabrum there must be 4 goblets. The spheres and flowers of the stem must be engraved. There must be one sphere situated on the stem of the point where the first 2 branches extend from it. Another sphere must be situated on the point where the next 2 branches extend from it. A third sphere must be situated at the point where the last 2 branches extend from it. Those 3 spheres will serve as the base points for all the 6 branches extending from the stem of the candelabrum. The spheres and the branches of the candelabrum must be an integral part of it. It must all be hammered out of a single ingot of pure gold. You must make 7 lamps of it, such that when the priest kindles its lamps, they will shine toward its center. Make its tongue and its ash pans out of pure gold. It must be made together with all those utensils out of 1 talent of pure gold. Observe the forms that you are being shown on the mountain, and make them in that manner. Chapter 26. You must make the first cover of the tabernacle out of 10 tapestries, woven of the twinned linen, turquoise wool, purple wool, and scarlet wool. You must make them with a woven design of cherubim. The length of each tapestry must be 28 cubits, and the width of each tapestry must be 4 cubits, all the tapestries being of the same size. 5 tapestries must be attached to one another, and the other 5 must likewise be attached to one another. You must make loops of turquoise wool along the edge of the tapestry at the end of the first set. You must do the same along the edge of the endmost tapestry of the second set. You must make 50 loops on one tapestry, and you must make another 50 loops along the edge of the tapestry of the second set, each loop being exactly aligned with its counterpart. You must make 50 golden clasps, and you must join those 2 sets of tapestries to each other with the clasps so that the cover of the tabernacle will become one. For the second cover you must make sheet of goat hair as a tent to spread over the first cover of the tabernacle. You must make 11 such sheets. The length of each sheet must be 30 cubits, and the width of each sheet must be 4 cubits, all 11 sheets being at the same size. You must attach 5 of the sheets by themselves and attach the remaining and attach the remaining 6 sheets by themselves. You must fold half of the 6th sheet over the front of the tent. You must make 50 loops along the edge of the edgemost sheet of the first set and 50 loops along the edge of the edgemost sheet of the second set. You must make 50 copper clasps, and you must insert the clasps into the loops, joining the two halves of the goat hair tent together and making it one. With regard to the overlapping remainder of the sheets of the goat hair tent, the extra half sheet will overhang the back of the tabernacle. The extra cubit at either end of the length of the sheet of the goat hair tent must hang down over the two sides of the lower cover of the tabernacle to cover it. You must make a roof over the goat hair tent out of red dyed ram skins and a roof of the tahash skins above it. You must make the planks for the tabernacle out of acacia wood, placed vertically. Oh, okay. The length of each plank must be 10 cubits, and the width of each plank must be 1.5 cubits. While the bottom of each plank into two tenons parallel to each other, you must do likewise to all the planks of the tabernacle. You must make the planks of the tabernacle 20 planks for the southern side. You must make 40 silver bases under the 20 planks, 2 bases under one plank to accommodate its two tenons, and 2 bases under each following plank to accommodate its two tenons. For the second side of the tabernacle, the north, there must be 20 planks, with their 40 silver bases, 2 bases under one plank and 2 bases under each following plank. For the back of the tabernacle to the west, you must make 6 planks, and you must make 2 planks for the back corners of the tabernacle. They must be flush against each other at the bottom. They must be flush against each other at the top with a band. This must also be done with 2 planks on the 2 corners. Those on the west side there will be a total of 8 planks with their silver bases. In all, 2 bases under one plank and 2 bases under each following plank. You must make crossbars out of acacia wood, 5 for the planks of one side of the tabernacle, 5 crossbars for the planks on the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 crossbars for the planks of the back wall of the tabernacle to the west. The crossbar at the wall's mid height must be inserted into holes drilled through the planks, from one end of the tabernacle to the other. You must overlay the planks with gold. You must make the gold rings to hold the crossbars and overlay the crossbars with gold. You must erect the tabernacle in its proper order, as you will have been shown by me on the mountain. You must make a curtain, woven out of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and twinned linen. The weaver must make it with a woven design of cherubim. You must hang it on 4 pillars of acacia wood, overlaid with gold and with hooks of gold set in 4 bases of silver. You must position the curtain under the clasps that couple the 2 sets of lower tapestries. There, on the inner side of the curtain, you must bring the Ark of Testimony. The curtain will separate for you between the sanctuary and the Holy of Holies. You must place the cover on the Ark of Testimony in the Holy of Holies. You must place the table outside the curtain and the candelabrum opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle. You must place the table on the north side. You must make a screen for the entrance for the tent, out of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and twinned linen, the work of an embroiderer. You must make 5 pillars of acacia wood for the screen. You must overlay them with gold. Their hooks must be of gold. You must cast 5 copper bases for them. You must make the outer altar out of panels of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar must be square, and 3 cubits high. You must make protrusions, protrusions, protrusions for it as its 4 corners, the protrusions being of one piece with it. You must overlay this altar with copper. You must make its pots with which to remove the ashes from it, its scopes, its basins, its flesh hooks, and its fire pans. You must make all its implements of copper. You must make a grate of copper network for it. You must make on the network 4 copper rings on its 4 corners. You must place the grate below the border of the altar, extending downward until the middle of the altar. You must make poles for the altar, poles for acacia wood. You must overlay them with copper. Its poles must be inserted through the rings so that the poles will be on both sides of the altar when it is carried. You must make it a hollow structure of panels, as he showed you on the mountain, so must they make it. You must make the courtyard of the tabernacle. On the south side there must be nettings made of twinned linen for the courtyard, 100 cubits long, to make one side. Make 20 pillars with their 20 copper bases. The hooks of the pillars and their bands must be made of silver. Likewise, along the length of the north side there must be nettings, 100 cubits in length, with their 20 pillars and their 20 copper bases. The hooks of the pillars and their bands must be made of silver. For the width of the courtyard, on the west side there must be nettings 50 cubits in length, with their 10 pillars and their 10 bases. The width of the courtyard on the front side must be 50 cubits. There must be 15 cubits of netting to one side of the entrance, with their 3 pillars and their 3 bases. There must be 15 cubits of netting to the other side of the entrance, with their 3 pillars and their 3 bases. To close the entrance to the courtyard, make a 20 cubits wide screen out of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and twinned linen, the work of an embroiderer. It must have 4 pillars and 4 bases. All the pillars surrounding the courtyard must be banded with silver. Their hooks must be made of silver and their bases of copper. The length of the courtyard must be 100 cubits. The width and the breadth of the eastern half of the courtyard must be 50 cubits by 50. The height of the enclosure must be 5 cubits. Netting made of twinned linen. The bases must be made of copper. All the utensils of the tabernacle must, in the work of constructing and dismantling it, must be made of copper. All the stakes of the tabernacle and all the stakes for the courtyard must be made of copper. On the Shabbat day, 2 unblemished 1-year-old lambs and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil and its libation. The ascent offering of each Shabbat on each Shabbat, following the continual ascent offering and its libation. On your first days of the month, you must offer up an ascent offering to God, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 1-year-old lambs unblemished, and 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each bull, 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each ram, 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each lamb, and a scent offering of fire offering pleasing to God, and their libation, half of hin of wine for each bull, a third of a hin of wine for each ram, and a quarter of a hin of wine for each lamb. This is the ascent offering of each month in each month throughout the months of the year. 1 young he-goat as a sin offering to God, and its libation must be offered up following the continual ascent offering.